Okay, today we've got a lennox coil that is leaking, and it's very easy to tell on this one. We've got mineral oil all over the place. You can see our water just kind of beads on this from all that mineral oil. You can see in the pan the little bit of the sheen in there, but this coil's leaking like crazy. Would only hold charge for about a week, and so we're going to be replacing that today. And of course, sometimes you've got to do a little cutting and everything. Somebody put this wonderful 2x4 right in our way, so we're going to be cutting that out, removing the coil, and then putting in new all aluminum coil. So we'll show you that here just in a minute. Okay, we got the coil out, and one of the things I always do, especially since you have everything exposed, is to inspect the heat exchanger. So you're going to want to look at, especially all these pop rivets on these. This is just where they took two pieces of sheet metal and they fastened them together by a seam, and then they did pop rivets here. They'll crack. So you want to look at the entire heat exchanger while you're in here, just to be sure that there's no cracks that need to be taken care of before you finish the job. But this one looks okay. No problems that we can see. So we'll show you what putting the new coil looks like. Okay, so we got the new coil in. Because we had to modify it a little bit, the old one, the suction came out through here, but we just modified the store because we're using the same case. Instead of having to take off all the duct work, we just modify it right there, and we'll seal this up with mastic. But so we got the new coil in, and we'll be brazing it up with nitrogen. We'll be making our connections to go outside, put nitrogen in the system, let it flow at about a half psi, and then braze everything up. I'll show you that here in a minute. Okay, so we're pressure testing our coil, and I was brazing with nitrogen, and I took a little bit too long. This is a 3-story townhouse, so I was running low on nitrogen anyways. I would normally do a minimum of 150, but all my tank has left was 109, so we're going to let that hold for about 15 minutes, make sure we don't change pressure at all, and then we're going to go ahead and release the nitrogen and start our vacuum. And we're going to put new vacuum oil in my pump because I hadn't changed it since probably about 2 or 3 vacuum pulls. So we're going to put new vacuum pump oil. It's very critical to put new vacuum pump oil in to get a good strong vacuum, plus it'll pull down much faster. So we'll show you that here in just a minute. Okay, so I've changed the vacuum pump oil. This is one I prefer, black gold, from JB. It's pretty good and clear vacuum pump oil, mineral oil, and you can really tell a difference based on its color. But that's what I prefer. You can use whatever you want. Got an oil level correct. I'm pulling down a nice, good vacuum, and we're going to let this sit on there until we get to about 400 microns. And on this one, because we're changing the coil, and the coil had been leaking for a couple of years, we have recovered all of the refrigerant out of the system. We're vacuuming down the entire system. The outdoor units, all the lines, all the way up into the coil, because I don't want any contaminants in the system. I want my system to be good and clean, no moisture, no foreign contaminants in there, so that way when it's done, I can say, hey, this thing is completely done. So, but we'll show you the vacuum when it gets deep enough, and then go through the charging process.